Let's take a look at those trigger test files we mentioned earlier. The first thing we need to do is make sure we have our VDL Soundset 525 applied to our playback configuration. Only one instance of Contact Player 2 will be needed to play each file. If you want, you can create a configuration just for performing trigger tests like we've done here. Once you've confirmed your setup, navigate to the trigger test folder that is included in your template pack download. We are going to be using only 4 files in this demonstration: World B, Xylophones, Rhythm and Steel, and Tenor Lines. Let's open the World B file first. Since Sibelius is doing a lot of the work for you behind the scenes, you may not get into your Contact Player's user interface very often, if at all. As such, we need to cover a few of the items we will be using and watching as we move along through these tests. The first item is this toggle button here that will let you go back and forth between the regular full view and the isolated instrument view. You will more than likely find the isolated view better suited for these tests. Next are these scroll buttons. They will allow you to move forward and backward through the current set of patches that are loaded. Most of the patches will not require you to move the octave of the keyboard up or down, but for the few that do, use these small buttons in the lower left-hand corner. The keyboard shows you what keys have sounds assigned by highlighting them blue. Red keys denote key switches. If a patch has sounds controlled by the mod wheel, these values will be indicated somewhere in this vicinity, and the mod wheel itself located to the left of the keyboard. Key switch values will also be indicated in this area. If the patches did not load earlier, click on a note or hit play to get Sibelius to load them now. Open Contact Player 2 by going to Play, Playback Devices, select the active device, click on the Show button. Once open, toggle to the isolated view. From the Parts drop-down menu, choose Kunga's Manual. In Contact Player, find the Kunga's Manual patch. Feel free to adjust your tempo to your liking. As each staff plays, the blue highlighted keys will be triggered sequentially from left to right. Selecting a measure will ensure that no other staves are played along with the instrument we're focused on. Play the staff. Now let's play this staff back using the 5.2 sound set. And as you can see, it makes a difference which sound set is used. Back to 525. As soon as you're ready to move on to the next instrument, just select it in the Parts drop-down menu, scroll to the matching patch, and proceed accordingly. When you're done with that file, just close it out. If you're asked whether or not to close any open parts, select Yes. Next, open the Xylophones file. Choose the medium dark xylophone in the drop-down menu. Click on a note if the sounds haven't loaded yet. Scroll to the medium dark patch. After the range bar is played, we'll come to some mod wheel sounds. The 2 indicators will let you know what is currently playing. Play the staff. Are you getting the hang of it yet? Let's move on to the Rhythm and Steel trigger test file. I have already opened the Rhythm and Steel file, loaded the sounds, and selected the electric guitar part and corresponding patch. In addition to the mod wheel and key switch indicators, the distortion drive knob and the 2 chorus knobs will change as this staff is played. Right after the range bar, if you apply just one staff text item or switch at a time, you can use the corresponding off switch to remove that effect from the staff. And of course, reset works too. The switches can also be stacked to get the various combinations of sounds that are available. If you do any stacking though, you will need to use reset or no effect to remove all applied switches before any new stacks are used. If you want, you can add to the stack as you go, like the example in the next to last bar. Let's play the staff. Excellent. Now let's finish up this video by looking at a battery instrument in the tenor lines file. Again, the tenor lines file is already open, sounds are loaded, and both the tenor line manual part and patch are selected. I said earlier that the blue highlighted keys will be triggered sequentially from left to right. Well, that statement is not entirely true. The tenor lines and bass lines don't exactly follow that scenario. However, they do follow a pattern. For the instrument we're looking at here, the snare and stick shot sounds are assigned to the same set of keys on the keyboard. Likewise, the rim shot, dread, rod, and rim sounds are assigned to their same set of keys. All of these sounds will cycle through their specific mod wheel variations before moving on. The other non-sequential bit is that they are grouped into like sounds: left hand, right hand, decrescendo rolls, crescendo, etc. Playing the file. And with that, you now know the basics of performing a trigger test.